All right, next thing is our player conditions screen. All right, so this, if we got hurt or anything, those wounds would show up there, and then we could cover them up with bandages, which we don't have.
We
right
are
now.
barefoot.
We are barefoot, and we are near a camp. So, this is the camp. So this is the camp. It's just any old spot on the ground, and we can actually put stuff into the camp, you know, and then it's in the camp. And then this is our vehicle. So we don't have a vehicle right now, so there is no vehicle there, but once we get one, we can put that in there, and then we can put stuff into the vehicle that we're dragging around with us. And by vehicle, it doesn't mean like a car.
A car.
Right, it means like a sled
or a shopping cart.
Or a shopping cart, right. Alright, so let's go back to the main map. So we can scavenge in this block, or we can move on. There's some nearby cities. Or, because if you noticed, under the item screen... Oh, actually... Oh, because we shut that door? Because we shut that door with that mechanics thing, we can't get back into the facility. Before, if you didn't shut that door, you could get back in and use that as your main base. But since we shut that door with the mechanics power, we can't get back in there. So, that's just the way it goes. That's survival for you. Let's see how long we can survive. So, do we want to use some of our moves to go ahead and scavenge right now? Or do we want to move out and try to find another hex? Maybe find some place to kind of build a base?
I think we should find a place to build a base.
Alright, so we're not going to scavenge here. We're just going to move on to here. This has got scavenging, and there's stuff on the ground already. This one's only got scavenging. This one looks a little more promising to me. But...
Let's go there.
Alright, so we'll head off there. As you approach the town, there is no sign of activity. Buildings stand in ruin. Vehicles are overturned and blackened with fire. Explosion marks radiate outward from walls and pavements. In the distance, strange-looking creatures circle in the sky like monstrous, leathery vultures. The world has drastically changed from what you knew. Some sort of cataclysm has befallen Earth, returning mankind to the Dark Ages, and along with it, your hopes of finding a warm meal and some answers. You decide to look around and scavenge what you can from the ruins. So it starts with an and, which is kind of confusing, which returning mankind to the Dark Ages, and along with it, your hopes of finding a warm meal and some answers. That should be all one sentence. It shouldn't start with and. Anyway, moving on. Sorry, English stuff. So we are in this hex now. We have 4 moves left. We can scavenge, but I always like to, if there's items, I like to check that out first. So we're going to do that. So that's going to be in the items screen here, which is Q on the board. Alright, so there's a broken bottle. And there is... Nice.
Pills with some pills inside.
Yeah, there's 8 of them actually in there. And if we right-click on it, we can actually just empty it out. And then take the pills. But since we have nothing to carry anything in, we might as well just take the bottle and throw it in our other hand. But painkillers are really important. They're worth a lot. See, that thing's worth $41. Whereas a shard of glass is worth 40 cents. So, yeah.
But if you got a lot of the shards, it might be worth something.
Yeah, well, you'd have to have a lot. You'd have to have a huge amount. And that's 40 cents for 5 of them, by the way. This broken bottle, like if we go into the crafting menu, we can actually turn the broken bottle into shards of glass.
And that
but
is...
I don't think you can carry more than 5, so it's not really worth it.
2 is $50.
No, it's not. It's 50 cents.
What if 2 shards of glass were just like $50?
Because they're also a condition of 100%, whereas this is a condition of 19.3%.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe we should craft into a shard and take that one instead.
Okay. So we crafted it, and we'll clear it out.
And that is actually a good idea.
Oops.
That is actually a good idea.
Alright, so we'll take that instead. Drop that on the ground, so we got those. Alright, so do you want to go ahead and scavenge then? We've got 3.99 moves left out of 4. Because it took us 0.01 to craft to break a glass bottle.
Okay, let's scavenge.
Alright, so we go into the scavenge menu. So we have 2 different options here. If I click this one, it stops scavenging. I just click confirm and it takes us back out. See, it says you decide not to scavenge for now. but we're going to go back into that. And this one is, this will give you the options of the places to scavenge, and there's one, a crumbling apartment building. So, looking around you, there appear to be few areas worth checking out. So this is the only one. So, currently selected response, scavenge crumbling apartment building. So we'll go ahead and confirm that. Alright, so, you decide to check out the crumbling apartment building. It's a mess inside. Broken bricks lay in piles, bits of glass strewn everywhere like glittering dust, water stains and dead leaves litter the outer edges of the building, and rock dust still covers areas sheltered from the elements. Scavengers before you obviously picked off most of the easy stores clean. Scavengers before you have obviously picked most of the easy scores clean, but a little elbow grease and some risk-taking might reward the intrepid treasure seeker. So, down here, we have a loot bar, we have a safety bar, and we have a sneak bar. So, the more to the right they are, or green, the better it is. So that means...
So we have good safety and good sneak, but not very much loot.
Right. So, it's a trade-off. So we could use our strength ability, which means we scavenge brutishly. Okay, so if we use that, if you notice our loot went up, so we got a better chance of getting some good loot, but our safety went down, so we might get hurt, and our sneak went down, which means somebody might hear us. The other option here is to just scavenge the hex. That just means to scavenge it as is. No, I'm sorry, that's to go back. That's to go back one screen. Okay. To the hex scavenging, this guy here. So, we're going to go back into here. So, doing the strong, it's really, do we want to sacrifice our safety and our sneak for a little bit more loot? A little bit more loot, or not do it? Or do we just want to move on and maybe find someplace else?
Let's try and do the strong.
Try to do the strong?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's worth it. Let's try it. Okay, so we did find some stuff. That was stuff that popped over there. And we found something, and we didn't alert anybody, and we didn't get hurt, because that would show us here that we did. It would say it.
You found something.
So we really lucked out there. So we're just going to hit the confirm button. That takes us back to the hex screen, the main map.
So we're going to go into our inventory.
Exactly. So we found a sharpened spear, which is awesome.
Ooh. Should we trade that out for the pills?
No, not yet. So we found a shirt, so we'll throw that shirt on. And if you watch, it will make our the outdoor temperature, I think, will change. Yep. So it went up a little bit. A tarp, which is awesome. So we'll hang on to that. We'll just move that off to the side. We can wear like up to 3 shirts on top, and then here's some cargo pants, which is nice because then we now have some pockets to put stuff in. We found some assorted small parts. That's important. Here's some. That's the glass I think we left on the ground. Handful of twigs is nice. Handful of string is good. A medium-sized branch from a tree, and a whiskey bottle that's empty, which is nice. Believe it or not.
Actually, we can fit the pills in our pocket.
Yep, so we're going to move the pills to the pocket. Okay. We're going to move...
Wait, would it be better to just take the pills out of the thing and then put it in the pocket?
That's probably a good idea, because it'll save us a square. But yeah, I mean, it's really... Is there anything else we can put in there? Nothing, really. So, yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea. So we'll go ahead and
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
And we'll just drop the pills into our pocket for now.
Yeah, just take them out, throw them on the ground, then pick them back up and put them in your pocket.
That's right. We'll put the shards
in our pocket.
In our pocket as well.
In real life, that would be dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you might cut yourself. Maybe some more?
You know what? Let's do this, actually. Let's craft. And we're gonna take this other broken bottle, and we'll craft that into some glass shards. So we'll clear that out, and then we'll go back into the item closing screen, and that's the bad ones. These are the good ones. So we'll put those together. So there we go. And unfortunately, the whiskey bottle is too big to fit in there. So, and we do need the spear because we need a weapon.
Yeah, the sharpened spear is really good. That is actually very lucky.
Yeah. And believe it or not, this tarp is actually really important too. There's a lot of things you can use the tarp for. So we're going to want to take that.
Fortunately, we can't fit it in our pockets.
We cannot. We could fit it in our pockets, but we couldn't fit anything else. So hopefully, pretty soon we're going to find it. Like a plastic bag or something, or a backpack would be awesome.
Because that, like, has a lot of room, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, so you can carry something. Here's some assorted small parts we'll take. Well, actually, it's probably...
Handful of string, handful of twigs.
Yeah, we didn't take lock picking, so this doesn't really help us that much right now. So we'll take the string, because that's going to help us a little bit more. And the twigs and bark don't help us. If we had taken trapping, then we could make a fire out of the twigs and the bark. But since we did not take trapping, we cannot. We're going to have to find a lighter in order to make fire.
I did not know trapping did that.
That's fine. Yeah, I didn't know that either when I first started playing the game. But now, so we're going to leave all this stuff here. If nobody else comes along, if no other NPCs come along, they won't find any of this stuff. We could... So we do have a couple of campsites if we wanted to, but they're not very... See, the campsites have also things. They've got shelter and they've got sleep. So
there's no shelter here, but there's a lot of sleep.
Yeah, you can sleep pretty well here, but it's not very sheltered. And so if there's any rain or anything, we'll get rained on, all that kinds of stuff.
And there is danger of somebody finding you and killing you.
Exactly, which you could hide to try to prevent that, but you know. All right, so these have some scavenging we could do if we want to go to those hexes, or we could kind of head off in another turn. After this turn, maybe the next turn. It is dawn right now. The sun will have raised, so we'll be able to see a little bit further. But right now, because it's dawn, we can't see anywhere at all yet. So, okay, so where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
Let's go towards Scavenge.
All right, so do you want to go to this hex or this hex?
The bottom one.
The bottom one? All right, so we'll head off to it.
Ooh,
so
a hill. That's good.
The little red thing is our tracks.
Yeah, the tracks.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and scavenge, because there's nothing else. There's nothing on the ground or anything right now. All right, so we have an abandoned apartment building. So looking around, there appears to be a few areas worth checking out. So we'll go ahead and scavenge that. All right, so this concrete apartment building looks to be in better shape than most. Sure, the windows are all but gone, and a giant fissure runs along one wall, but this place looks as if it could still provide suitable shelter for someone. Perhaps that's why it makes you feel so nervous about approaching it. Okay, so our sneak is already halfway down, so we're pretty likely to alert something. Our safety's pretty high, though, so it's pretty safe. We're probably not going to get hurt. And we have a decent amount of loot. If we up the strong, if we throw that on there, it will up our loot, and it will lower our safety a tad, and it will drastically lower our sneak. But look at the greater chance of loot. So now we might alert something, which could be a problem since all we have is a sharpened spear to fight with. But, you know, I think we could probably take one fight.
Go for strong, because we do have melee and strong.
Yeah, we will as long as
we very luckily on our first scavenge found a sharpened spear.
We'll go ahead and do that. Ready? Here we go. Okay, we did find some stuff and some good stuff too. So we didn't have any problems, so that was good.
Oh my god, we are really lucky.
Yeah, we are very lucky. So we'll move on. Let's check out and see what we found. Oh, awesome. So we found a sled with a strap, which is awesome. We found just a plastic sled by itself, which really doesn't matter. This is a piece of old newspaper. So this is how the game actually tells stories. There are scraps of paper which will give you they'll give you crafting things, like how to craft stuff in some of these scraps of paper, and the newspapers give you, like, the story. So, Road to Nowhere. Faced with never-ending budget deficits, the Michigan Department of Transportation is to commence grinding of asphalt roads into gravel. Critics of the resurfacing budget reclamation initiative claim that this will only further balkanize the declining neighborhoods outside major cities. Governor Jones assured the public that focus of program will be on secondary roads and low traffic zones.
Yeah, I got confused there as well.
Yeah. So you can use paper to start fires, but again, you would need trapping in order to do that.
And we got another one.
We did get another tarp, which is actually pretty good. I think you can put this... No, you can't. Okay.
So should we put the sled in vehicle?
We are going to put the sled in vehicle, but...
No matter what.
Yeah. Its condition is pretty good, 21.8. That one's only 12, so... I think, though, we're all out of moves, which means that all we can really do is move stuff around now, so we're going to put this into our vehicle. Okay, so now it's our vehicle. Here's some... These are French-made Blinkies snack cakes. instead of Twinkies. They're Blinkies.
Oh, I'm gonna blink and I'll eat one.
So, whoops, wrong thing. All right, so we're gonna take some things. We'll
Oh,
take
look, there's water.
Yeah. But it's just water. It's not been sterilized. Which
Wait, can we fit water in our pocket?
we can't. No, it won't let you. See how it disappears?
Oh, but it does look like you do have enough room. It looks
But
like
if
it.
you see how the water is
Oh,
6 squares, it
yeah!
goes inside
A whiskey bottle.
a whiskey bottle. So there you go. Now it's in there.
And we can put it in our sled.
Yep. Okay, so
Maybe we should just go to the vehicle screen.
well, what I was gonna say is the thing about the vehicles, if you see right, which means that if we need to run away from battle, we're gonna have to ditch our vehicle. So the stuff that we put in there needs to be stuff that's important because we want it, but not so important that we can't live without it if we need to take off running.
So like a gun, you would have to like put on like a holster on your back.
Yeah, which is why I would probably, because we don't have any food except for these. So I'm going to grab these and throw these in our pocket. Okay. We need this, so I'm going to keep it in our hand for now. And especially since we have an extra one, we might as well. And these don't wear out. You notice how the value is 9, the weight is 0.77, but there's no, like if you look at this.
It has condition.
Where's the condition stuff?
It had condition, look.
Did?
It had condition.
Nope, that's weight.
There.
This one has a condition. Yep.
Condition.
Yep. So there you go. Anyway, these are pebbles. These are stones. We can use those when we finally make a slingshot, which is actually pretty easy to make, but we don't have the stuff for it yet. We could if we took off one of our shirts. Actually, you know what? We better do that. Well, then we won't be able to. Nah, let's not worry about it right now. We're still early on, so we won't worry about it. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the vehicle screen then, and we're gonna take everything. We could just double click it. The only thing I can't take is another plastic sled.
Yeah, let's put a sled in sled.
Yeah.
Let's see how that works.
Gonna just pile up all of these stones. But if you notice over on the unburdened, as we fill up, jeez, come on, double click already. If you move it just a tad, it thinks that you're trying to move it. There you go. You see how our unburdened has gone down? Because now we're dragging stuff and we got a bunch of crap. So
Yeah,
pretty soon we're going to want to try to find a camp so we can set up a camp with our stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, you'll be going away from it.
Yeah, and right now, since we don't have any way to start fires, our primary concern is we've got to find a lighter. If we don't find a lighter, then we've got no way to start fires. And if we've got no way to start fires, we can't boil water, we can't cook food. We took botany, so we can find
Plants
and stuff like that that'll help us, but we can't boil water to make tea or anything like that. So we are out of moves, so we're gonna have to end our turn. If you see, we've got nothing we can click on here. We can't go to any of the
Yeah, but the good thing
hexes.
is, it's gonna be morning and there's a hill.
Hopefully, let's see. All right, so it is dawn still, but it is clear and cold. We're doing okay for outdoor temperature. We are comfortable still, so we're all right. We are a little burdened. We're starting to get just a teensy bit hungry, just a teensy bit thirsty, but it still says slaked and sated. So there's still nobody that's come to bother us. So we can head towards this hill. We can head to any one of these other hexes. We could go back and pick up anything we left there. Or we could go north and scavenge another area.
North.
Okay, alright, so we're going to head up there. Alright, so
And we got tracks.
we can't see anything, which is actually pretty good. That probably means that there's woods there. But we just, because it's not dawn, it's still dawn, we can't actually see outside of that hex. But normally when you have that kind of a thing, it's because it's trees.
So there's woods.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and scavenge. And, ooh, an abandoned office tower.
Oh.
So that one looks pretty good. So, due to their nature, office towers weren't primary looting targets after the food riots. More obvious targets got the most attention. Later on, astute scavengers realized many offices had bottled water and often kitchens. What's more, the supply closets of 10... Oh, I'm sorry. The supply closets often contained valuable survival tools. The supplies aren't expected to be great, but it's worth a shot.